Okay, I think we'll just have another quick colour check up here with the fading light, just so we can check the soil. There you go, colour check on the wheel and the grid against the soil there, and all this other stuff that's going on here. Some of the flint and stuff, quartzite to flint or whatever. I can't remember, it's flint, a metamorphic rock, I can't remember now, fellas. Don't quote me on these things. I'm always the first one to say, you know, I'm not an expert in, as I said, I keep saying, I will not call myself a CP expert until I've grown a fly trap with 4-inch straps. This season I think it's just basically, I've gotten, using the American term, out of peat. And I think I've broken, you know, the calcifuge barrier, the copper barrier and everything else you need to do in order to do that. And this will be extremely slippery in a couple of weeks' time once we've had the rain. You would not want to walk up here with Crocs on. You'd be guaranteed of having a bit of slippage somewhere along the way. Yeah, look at the colour. And it just gets better and better. But most people say, I don't know what it is. Is it the advertising agencies? They always seem to come down under at the wrong time of year. Could be partly the fact that, you know, here's the continent and we have this line that runs from Perth to Brisbane, and the wet and the dry flip. And of course, from the south you come into the wet from the dry, and from the north you come into the other way around. And so one water is increasing and the other way the water is drying out, sort of thing. So there are subtle differences that way. And also you've got these winds that go you know, from the Antarctic, go that way, and it puts on 2 hours of flight time. So people get so worried about having to pay so much more money going from Brisbane to Perth and from Perth to Brisbane, sort of thing. So either they fly into Abbottland from the wrong end and suddenly realise they're going to have to pay another few $100s to go from Brisbane to Perth rather than Perth to Brisbane, because it takes you an extra 2 hours of flying time due to the wind, and therefore it takes you an extra 2 hours of fuel, and therefore that's why it costs so much more. I don't know if anyone's explained that to you. I'm just putting it out. So if you're ever going to travel flying around Australia, it's probably better to do it clockwise, because you're always flying with the wind then, and therefore the petrol prices will be lower that way. Do you understand? And vice versa, because, you know, the winds are, you know, going round in a circle. So. Okay, I don't know, fellas. I think it was just the fact that I threw myself out of the house too late today. I'm just getting old, fellas. You know, I think I'm probably going to have to hit the stop button fairly soon. But I think, yeah, I do like those sort of, you know, the intrusions and things like that, but so you know how this all changes once the rains have come. They've been here for quite a while, so over the next 3 months. So just as it sort of gets to its most lusciousness almost, then it's fading away again, sort of thing. So all this moss, this particular species, becomes really verdant and really dark green. And then we've got this glaucous little beauty. So that's the true leaves of this species of acacia. And then it's starting to go its phyllodia there. Can you see that? The phyllodia. So, colour check. So you can see that that colour really is that colour. And as I said, when we get to close to, you know, the first 2 weeks of August, when we get the coldest nights, when it almost gets down to 0 degrees, and can go sometimes go a little bit lower, the plants can handle about -1, -2 sort of thing, but usually it never really gets below 0 degrees, or at least on the Adelaide Plain anyway, put it that way. So yeah. Anyway, so we'll have a look at these pans. I said last year we were going to, but we're a little bit further on than we were before. So you can see there are changes starting to happen. So in these areas here, and we'll also go out to some of those other places where I've shown you stuff, and we're thinking that maybe it should be Peltata foliosa hookerize, and someone's been over here with something, some sort of tractor or something. So another acacia in there, sort of thing. With its Phyllonia.